Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and I am back with another pattern that I intend to double. This time it is pattern number 68573. And I tried looking at this. There's no way to actually make a thing right in the center quite perfectly. So, yeah, I'm just going to kind of divide this squiggly thing here. And, so it starts about there, goes up 3, back a couple, and back out this way. And then we've got this other color, which I feel like we can do something better than that. Let's go darker. All right. So it's got like this. And we're going to go all the way to the center with this bit. Now this is interesting because that doesn't exist in the regular part. I'm going to leave it alone and kind of check in on it when we get the other strings in. Because that might be kind of nice to actually put the bright green in there if that's possible. Okay, so then this is just a little straight 3 thing. And then it's back to the wild zigzaggy thing here. So let's see. Up, back, out, back, and back in. Yeah. I kind of like the idea of a possible extra little dot because of the center thing. This is a really kind of an unusual pattern, and I thought this would be really good for this trying to make something different out of a doubling up of a pattern. Right, so, and we're almost to the end. Back to the whole zigzag thing again. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3. It ends up out there, so that's cool. I didn't look to see what the string count was on this. Like, you know, how many of the dark colors, how many of the light ones. I'm gonna say there's got to be at least 2 of the light ones. And I can say that because, oh, wait. I was going to say you might not be able to join right here, but yeah, it totally does. So it's potential that could have, this green would have only been a single strand. And if that's the case, then we would not be able to put the bright green in the center. But I haven't given up hope. I am now going to see what we need from the dark stuff to make that work. So for sure, that's interesting. At this point here, there has to be at least 3 of them. Right? I mean, in order to make that work, to have one coming in this way. Okay. So this isn't too bad. It looks like these 3 strands can handle pretty much anything that's going on out here. I just have to keep checking to make sure, like, where it is the other one, right? So there's 3 coming through this. And they're all interchanging. So if one strand was getting used an awful lot more, you could make sure to use the longer strand from somewhere else. So if it wasn't already blatant, I intend on flipping this to the other side. So that's how we're going to double this one. So yeah, if this side, all the things can be done with these 3 strands. That means we can make the other 2 in here be this brighter green like that. So since we've already colored in everything else, we can use the select by color tool. That will give me the ability to then go to the paint tool, do the whole selection, and paint the rest of them in that bright green. Let me take that back off. And yeah, let's grab the select tool. I'm just going to grab this 1/4 of it. I have guidelines in place to make this work. Let's copy paste, do the flip tool. Whoop. I need to get this so it anchors. There we go. Now I can select the whole top half. I was clicking it while I still had the flip tool on, so it was just getting a little weird there. Copy, paste, flip tool, flip that line, and anchor that. I can take away our example. And there's our bracelet. So it alternates every other one with the dots in the center. And you've got these short segments and these longer ones. I think that turned out really neat. And that was a really quick fix for making this a double. Mind you, because it alternates with every other one, you could stagger the 2 sides so that way this zigzag was down a little further, and like maybe this one is kind of coming up into the center of it. That would be an alternate way of doing it. You could make them both going zigzags the same directions. There's like so many possible ways of doing this. So I mentioned that because I just want you guys to try and enjoy making things yourself, you know? All right. So thank you for hanging out with me. I super appreciate it. And thank you to my Patreon supporters, my YouTube members, for making this possible. I think this is going to be a fun one to make. It'll be a little bit tricky keeping an eye on where I'm at. Well, I guess there's only 2 main zigzags, and then the solid, and before you hit to the center thing. So it probably shouldn't be too hard, but I'll let you know how it goes. All right. And yeah, thanks a lot. And as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.